Hi, Zara.
Hi, guys. Hi, gorgeous. It's all right. LJ came in and out like 5 times already.
And by the way, I feel that this is really the reality, right? This
This,
is
this,
this
this
is
is what we're doing.
this is what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
This is it really looks I really make it look great during the day when I'm like, oh, let me do all this workouts and let me do all this mindfulness sessions and my child is like perfect. And I actually, you know what, in a way really appreciate that this happened because I really wanted this conversation somehow to go in a really raw and authentic way. And there it is.
But I mean, and first of all, I haven't seen you. Hi. I miss
Sarah,
you.
I have missed you so much. I was trying to think when was the last time I saw you and
I
how long
posted
you've
a
been,
picture today.
and
That
you've
was the
been
picture I
quarantined.
posted was the last time I saw you.
Oh
It
my
was the
God.
day it was the day before I left for quarantine.
So it's been what, like 6 weeks?
7 weeks.
Seven.
7 or 8 weeks.
Okay, so guys, Zara left the city, one of the first ones, and went out to Long Island with her
Hmm.
whole family. Well, first of all, I have no idea how you packed that whole thing because you have
We have a
you
we have a
have you
lot.
have a
There's a
lot of
lot of
people. You have three
us.
kids. You have a husband who's back to
Hey.
be the fourth. You have pets.
We have
Um,
3 dogs.
but how Zara, how are you doing? Because well, first of all, I want to say that you have been, I think, you've really inspired all of us. Really, really in the beginning to
Oh, stop.
how to
Hi,
like just get
Paige.
our shit together.
Yeah,
Oh, where did you go?
I'm
Are you
here.
here?
Yeah, I'm
I was
here.
like, whose Wi-Fi sucks, mine or yours? I was like, I
I
was like, you really inspired us in the beginning how to kind of pull our shit together really quickly. Um, how how are you doing?
it's listen, first off,
First off, you
I
look beautiful,
it's the light and I don't own a blow dryer, so that's really good too.
but I love it
I
here.
don't I don't have one of those ring lights, so I think I would like to have one of
I will
those.
send it to you, honestly.
They're all sold out. I tried to find
Really?
one and they're all sold out. Um, the first thing is that I've been in quarantine for almost 8 weeks now, and I can't sit here and say and start talking about how hard it is or anything like that because when you look at what's going on in the world, it's a privilege, honestly, that I'm able to quarantine and be safe with my family. There are so many people that can't do that are working, that are on the front lines. There are people that are doing different things, from delivering to being in to helping us in the grocery stores, to help make all of our lives a little bit easier, and are out there. There are people that have lost their jobs, so that is the first thing to even say, is that I am grateful to have a safe home for myself and my family. Um, from what I've experienced, and like all of us, right? We're all going through this. We've never gone through this before. This is crazy. I think about what's going on in the world, and I say this a lot, but it's too much, right? It's too much for me to wrap my head around. I can't, like a single person myself, I can't fully grasp what's happening. And on a personal level, it's been really hard. We've been fortunate, before coronavirus, to have had wonderful childcare for our children. And I have 3 kids, so I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, just and a baby who's just turned 5 months old. And I don't have childcare for my older ones, which I'm not, which I usually do, and I'm super grateful for. So that has completely changed everything.
Mm.
I'm with my kids all day long, and trying to run a business at the same time, which has been really put on really my entire team and my president to do so. Because the only times that I can really jump in is during nap and after they go to bed at night.
Mhm. Well, I mean, let's just really I'm really curious about, I'm curious about a lot of things, but like, with the business, I mean, I feel like one thing that has been happening is, oh, okay,
What?
sorry. I feel like it's either I'm going in and out or you're going in and out.
You're totally like clear to me. I don't know. I hope I'm clear too.
You're kind of going a little, or
Oh no.
Alaska, I think it's time to go nighty night. Yeah? I think it's time to go nighty night. No, Alaska, we had a deal. Sorry. We had a deal. 2 minutes. Альчика, 2 минутки. Я тебя люблю. Поцелуй маму.
Kisses,
Аля, я
Alaska.
к тебе приду. Аля, тетя Зара без своих детишек. У нее детишки уже все спят.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm happy.
I'm just telling that all your kids are already in bed.
They are. LJ came out 5 times. Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much for hanging in here. And Zara, thank you so much too, because I know your time is precious.
Are you, man, stop it. This is not like a formal thing. We're my good girlfriends.
Listen, I selfishly want you to like go and chill the fuck out too, and selfishly I want it for myself, but it just,
I know.
I really have not, I was thinking about it. I was really grateful for our talk because I don't really like, even with my really dear friends, like I don't talk to them enough. Like everyone is so busy. No one gets time for themselves. Like people keep on asking me, and I actually wrote this question for you just out of curiosity, but people are like, so what shows are you binge watching? And I'm like,
totally. I don't have time for that.
Was a month ago.
I know. So I've been in quarantine for 8 weeks now. I've watched one series, which was a mini series over that time, and it's self-made with which I loved on Netflix. But I love TV so much. Like this would be like, if I was in my 20s, this would be like my jam, the 4 kids and like being able to do this. And so I'm totally with you. Like I haven't really been able to watch. I didn't even watch all of Tiger King because I'm passing out, because at this point, after 7 o'clock, after the kids, LJ comes out of her bed 5 times, and I need to like take a shower, go to the bathroom, like maybe shave, like if I
By the way, that's on my list. Like sorry, I'm getting TMI, but literally like, okay,
I can't, it's hard for me
because, like,
to exercise during the day. I mean, because I like to, it's hard for me to exercise during the day. I try to do it at night. I love to bake. The exhaustion really is real. And again, I am so grateful to be in the position that I'm in, to be able to be home with my children, because that is not the case for everybody. And I understand that it's a privilege for that. But, when we first came out here, I was really, since we were my husband, who's like brilliant and so smart, he, and I wish he wasn't, because I wish he was wrong. He was like, Ann, I was with you the night before we left. Yeah. And so the night before, he's like, we're leaving tomorrow. Like, that's it. We're going.
By the way, I mean, I love David so much, but does he annoy you yet?
He's always annoyed me, even before. Oh no, I hear mine.
I am so grateful that I'm alone with my child. I'm so grateful. There's no other human being that can annoy me. This is great. I can run the show.
And the other thing is, like, my 2 kids, like my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old, my girl and my boy, like they've never spent this much time together. And so, like, yes, they've always been together, but not from wake up to go to sleep doing, they always had like individual time, and not really thrown into the mix with like one person, myself, watching them. And so
how are they getting,
they're
better?
I would say they're wild. I would say, for an hour definition of wild, they're wild. So like Ty is chewing through his clothes, not listening, biting, hitting. LJ's getting like very more dramatic. And I'm trying now to like talk to them about their feelings, because listen, they can't talk about their like they don't know what's going on. And I don't know about you. Well, Alaska's a little bit older than LJ. And everybody I've talked to actually has, because we left a week early, we weren't there for like that last week of school where people started talking about like the germs that are happening. So we never talked to them about the coronavirus or anything that's going on. They just think that we're on like pre-summer break or something like that. So it's, so I think it's getting to them at this point where they're feeling lonely. They have me and they're, like their grown-ups, which we call our nannies, aren't around. And they're not seeing their friends, and they're not going to their activities, and I'm doing the best I can, because after we were here for the first week that you asked before, I realized right away, I said, this is not going to work. We need to do some sort of structure. And so I remembered what LJ and Ty had in their nursery school. They have like all of these cards. And so I was like, okay, we're going to do schedule cards, and like, let's do, like, I'm going to be a teacher, and I'll tell you something, that is not an easy thing. And I am in awe of every single person that has chosen to dedicate their life to educate children.
You're just like,
like, that is unbelievable.
Yeah,
it is.
Is having a schedule for them helpful?
Yes. It's definitely helpful, but then I need to, during my either when they're napping or after they go to sleep, I need to prepare the next schedule. So if I'm going to be preparing the schedule, I then can't work on my company. I can't do something personal. I can't, do something else for our family. So it becomes pretty exhausting.
Yeah.
And trying to prioritize what it is, because I always want to prioritize them. But I need to also take care of my other family, which is, my Terez family, and do that the best I can too, because I'm always feeling that, it's like, even before any of this, everyone always would say, like, how do you balance being a mom and being, a CEO and a business owner?
So what did you say?
There's no such thing as balance. That's like, that is number one thing. Like, as soon as you understand there's no such thing as balance, that's the first thing. And to be completely real, like, I had childcare that we had set up because David and I both work full time. And so we created a schedule that can do both, because what David and I would like to do is come in and out of their lives, daily. And
you're so good with that. It honestly, I mean, one thing that if I can say is, like, for someone who runs a business and who's so incredibly busy, you spend so much time with your children, and just really, like, are there for the school drop-offs and the school pickups for every single music class. And I'm just like,
listen, we all do what we can. And there are plenty of things that I wish that I could, I am tired. I'm really tired right now. I've always believed that there's good parts of life. And even in a time of darkness, such as now, I still believe that there are these good parts. And so I am exhausted, and I go through times of every single day and different points of the day, getting angry and nervous and mad and all of the negative emotions. But then I try my hardest, and I make it like a daily practice. And I'm calling it a daily practice because I don't really honestly know what else to say, but to, like, look for that good and celebrate that moment, because, like, we're in, these are like moments, like, are can be captured in time, and something that you can hold dear and, like, completely lift your spirits. And that's what I try to do. It's what I try to do. It's like,
well, what, I mean, what have you been like? I mean, has there been like, like I would say like tell me like 3 moments that have been the highlights of this whole time. Something that really
That's like a hard,
surprised
that's like a hard thing because they start to like blur into one another. Like they truly do start to blur into one another. I'll say, okay, so Billy, my daughter is 5 months old, and previously to this, so like I've had childcare, and I have somebody like a nurse for her that's with her, and so after I was with her for a short amount of time, I was going back to work, so I wasn't with her all of the time. So being able to
Hey,
actually
Zara, hold on. Zara, sorry, hold on a
go.
second. Аля, иди сюда.
Isn't she amazing when she speaks Russian? I want to
Иди
speak Russian.
сюда. Иди ко мне вниз. Хорошо, иди ко мне вниз. Sorry. Hi. I'm like, out of every single time.
Does she
when is
speak?
it,
Does she
like,
speak
my
mostly
daughter,
in English or mostly in Russian?
No, we only speak in Russian, but I speak to her in English, just sometimes to like, literally, my daughter has been so incredible because, I already did Kundalini. I mean, I put her to bed. I'm like, 8 o'clock, girl, bye-bye. It's mommy's time. Ну, иди сюда. Ну, иди ко мне. Ну, иди ко мне. Oh my goodness.
Tonight
And
she needs
today,
you.
Tonight she just needs her mama. Come here. All right.
Yeah, she needs you.
Ножки раздвигай. Раздвигай ножки.
Yeah, she needs you. And like,
Ложись.
but like, and this is like a moment, right? Like, look at this. Like, this is what it is. Like this is what we're dealing with. And I hear, LJ came out, and I think she came out one other time, but David was there and was like, you have to go back to bed for the 6th time. But it's, they're feeling things. They're feeling things they can't express. Oh, my happy moments. This is a really happy moment. This is a happy moment for me. Watching Alaska get, such joy being with you. Like, look at, like, this is a beautiful moment. Like this right here. Seriously.
Thank you.
And that's,
I honestly feel like for me, I mean, I cannot be more grateful for this time.
it can be a gift.
For this time with her, I think we've gotten so close, and besides, of course she'll have moments like this, but honestly, she has been so respectful of my time. She has really, like she helps me. She helps
I see her.
me
She
with the
exercises
dishes.
with you. She dances with
She
you. She loves being
with me. She lets me do my yoga and my
Yeah.
meditations, and she's been such a good girl. I honestly, like, there's, because listen, I have help too, like I'm a working mom, I travel. And one thing that I just feel like, in a way, one thing that I have been really feeling is that, I feel like we're never good enough. I feel like we're around people and somehow it's like, oh, this one is doing this, or this one is doing this, or I should be doing this, or there's not enough time for this, or there's this, there's not that. And literally, this is the time where I'm like, I am freaking amazing. I am doing it all. I am cooking, cleaning, homeschooling, like working, just trying to really be the best version of myself. I really, like, honestly, as much as like for me, this time has been so incredible, and I'm so grateful for this. So, but yeah.
It's interesting that you say that, because like there are times when I feel that way, and then there are times I feel like I haven't been the best version of myself around my kids, actually, because I've found myself like yelling and doing things that I don't normally do. And I'm a very positive person, and I'm a happy person. So I don't like feeling that way or yelling or, finding myself in these situations, but this is where we are. And this is the things that, how how we have to be, you know, and I'm trying, and then I'll take a step back and try again and do it in a different way. But like, I mean, look at this. She's playing with your hair, like what I did tonight with
She's like petting. I'm doing this to her, and she's doing the same
the
thing on my
same thing
back.
back. I mean, it's you want to talk about beautiful moments. It's a beautiful moment, you know,
Yeah.
being able to just like, and that's something like, and what I've done is like this schedule has been so good for them, but then there are times where I'm like, you know what, like, let's not do the schedule, let's just like break out and just go a little crazy, but then they go and take it to the complete other direction.
Yeah.
um
Is there like things that you have learned about yourself? You know, like how for me, like for example, I've literally been like, I can really do it all. And I'm worthy and I'm beautiful and I'm smart and I'm everything. And I really like, I've always looked for, I mean, look, I think I wouldn't say I've always looked for approval from other people, but I think we all look for approval, right? We want someone
Totally.
to be like, you're great, you're amazing,
Yeah,
you're so smart, you're this, you're that. But for me, this has been really the moment of being like, I really just need to trust myself. Like I've got it all. So like for you, have there been any moments like that where you just learned about yourself? Um, I don't know how, I don't
I
know,
don't
like
know if it's
something
more
clicked in
about
with you.
myself. I'm a pretty confident person. I'm a very thoughtful and caring person, and isn't that beautiful? And I think more than anything, this time has reminded me even more so to celebrate small things, even more so than I did before. Um, and understand and value, you know, people around me and the community around me and the connection with people. Um, you know, what we're going through right now is exhausting, and you know, and I think that I think I've also have found myself during this time realize that I can't do it all by myself. I mean, I'm doing it, but not, but to what I was saying before, there have been times where I get upset with myself. And so, you know, to acknowledge how grateful I am to have in pre-corona times, and hopefully at some point soon, to have people that can help, you know, raise and love my children, um, and help me as I pursue, you know, what I'm doing. Look
Yeah.
at her. Hi, Alaska.
She can't hear you. I have your earpiece in.
Oh, right. I know. I just want you. I know. And I get it. I get it. I mean, LG, so I'm still I'm still pumping and breastfeeding, and every single night,
God bless you.
every single night, I put LJ to bed because she's like the last one I put to bed, and she likes it when I lay with her. And then I have to go pump, and she asks me to please come back after I pump. And usually I pop, you know, I'll pop my head back in, but I know that she's sleeping. And so there'll be times that I don't go back in, and she'll wake up at 4 a.m, and run into my room and be like, "You didn't come in last night." And
Oh, oh my God. That is the worst. You know, for like, I think this is the worst right now. Like, actually, I think Alaska and I has really gotten really close, but for like a few months before that, she would literally wake me up 5 times a night.
yeah,
And I think she got so comfortable now that she actually doesn't. I mean, she maybe will wake me up once a night, but even if you're sleeping for 7 hours and someone wakes you up once or twice, your whole night is like absolutely ruined.
totally.
It's, I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
totally.
I
I
can't
mean, this
imagine.
is like if you, David and I are like our mornings start. It depends. It depends. So we have 3 dogs. We have a Pomeranian. You've met our dogs, but for everybody else, we have we have 3 sizes: small, medium, large. A Pomeranian, a mini Labradoodle, and a large Bernedoodle. The Labradoodle and the Bernedoodle both sleep in our room with us upstairs, and our Pomeranian sleeps in the kitchen downstairs. She starts yapping at, sometimes she'll yap from, you know, starting in the fives, you know, and definitely by six. And then, you know, then it starts, you know, my daughter comes, then, you know, the dogs start barking, then the other dog starts barking, then my son gets up, then the baby starts crying.
You're like, this is just a shit show.
You know, this morning, actually, David said I slept through the first two alarms, not alarms, meaning like the dog barking in the first time LJ came out of her room. What did she come out of her? I forgot what she came out of her room for last night. It was, sometimes it's absolutely ridiculous, you know, the
Well,
things that she comes and says.
do you ever get to a point now where you're just like, and you just like, do you, in this moment, do you like cry, or do you just like sometimes just start laughing because you're like, it's just like
Yeah. So it's
crazy.
interesting because I don't understand why I haven't just broken down into tears. I've cried actually one time, and I'm a crier, and I have only cried one time. I know it's really
You have not
bizarre.
cried?
I
I
cry,
cried
and it's
once
weird.
a day.
And I cried one night because I really miss my dad, and I haven't seen him since January, and I
You
don't
what?
know. I
Sorry,
miss my
what?
dad, and I don't know when I'm going to see my father again. And I haven't seen him since January, and so that, like, I think I just like took it all out on that, and I was just, you know, and during the day, as the day going, I think my body just like doesn't allow myself for some reason to break down, and you know, like and there's two other things that are happening. Is one is like, as I'm walking throughout the day, I feel like I'm just gonna like collapse. That's
Mm.
like one feeling that I feel instead of crying. And the other one is while I'm trying to have like an intellectual conversation on a phone call, whether like with a partner or with someone, you know, and I'm trying to talk, I feel like I'm not really understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth, and I hope that they make sense.
I've so been there. When you're
You
just
know?
so out of it, you're like, I hope that my subconscious is communicating with that person on the phone, because right now what's happening out of my mouth, no idea.
Right. Like I don't understand. Right. So, and I'm like, and I know like I'm starting to speak, and at the end of my sentence, I know where I want to get to, but I hope that it makes sense how I'm going to get there, and we'll see. I don't know. And, you know, I haven't had a full night's sleep since I had, for a long time.
Yeah.
So
So
you know,
so how okay, so what's how okay, so like what would you, I mean, with every, you know, with every mom who is in a same position, a different position, and just with anyone who's struggling right now, like what would you say?
you know, the first thing that I would want to say, well, what would you say? Well, the first thing I would want to
What would I
say,
say? I mean,
yeah,
I think I would say to find time for yourself, you know, and I think, and try to find,
easier
you
said
know,
than done.
consistent. Huh?
Easier said than done. You could say it, but it's hard to do.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello? I
Hello?
can hear you. I don't know. I don't know if it's me or if it's you. It doesn't. I'm just like, people are like, oh, I can hear you. I can't hear her. I can hear her. I can't hear you. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Oh no. I don't know.
I think for me, um, you know, what has really helped. So in the beginning, like, I mean, I'll just give an example, right? I think in the beginning, like when everything started to happen, I was working out every day, and I made sure
Right.
that 12 o'clock was my time to work. And um, and Alaska, you know, I was just like, listen, Alaska, here's your schedule. I literally put the schedule, and at 12 o'clock, and I still have it there, and it like morphed, but she knew this is mommy's time to work out. And now she goes to the schedule and she's like, mommy, you didn't work out today. Anyway, so I was working out, and I really kept myself sane. And then I kind of like pulled a muscle. And right away, I was like, oh, this is gonna go like this. I was like, I really need to figure something out for myself. Like, there just needs to be something else, even for 10 minutes, even just something every single day. And And what I've been doing is I've gotten in a really amazing routine. I've gotten into Kundalini, and I do it every single day at 8 o'clock. Literally, I'm like, Alaska goes to bed, and I actually did it tonight before this. I did it
Oh,
for
good.
15 minutes.
Excellent.
Um, but I think what it does, and look, it's hard to have young kids. Alaska's 4.5, and she's a really good girl, and she like understands and really helps me. But I think it's just you have to be like, I'm gonna give myself 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, every single day, hopefully around the same time. That is just me, whether it's after the kids go to bed, whether it's a hot shower with a candle burning, whether it's just waking up and taking 5 deep breaths. It's just something where it's your time. It's no one else's. No one is like pulling you. You're not trying to have your time when it's really their time. I just think like I think it's just more claiming to yourself that you still owe yourself,
Hmm.
that you can still give yourself even 5 breaths. That is like, so, I mean, that would be my,
I think
but it's easier said than done. And I have one, I don't have three, and a company and people that, you have to, that have to,
depends.
they have families and depend on you and everything.
And
So what would you say?
I think that that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, it's easier said than done. And um, I've always had a hard time putting myself in the, doing stuff for myself, even, my whole, like, I always put myself last. So now that's really, really in the back. And I think that it's taking a toll on me. So I think if
Do you
somebody's,
feel like do you feel like it's just in a way it's like a really perfect timing for you to like just at least acknowledge and learn how to that this is something that
I think it
should
is
should be should
super,
be
I think
addressed.
it should definitely be addressed. I think it's super important to do something. And so what I've tried to do is really engulf myself into moments and do things with the kids. So there's two things: trying to do things with the kids and trying to get like one-on-one time with them if I can.
By the way, Zara, where's your boob when I need it right now?
I know, right? So this would be
Wouldn't
good.
that be amazing?
Yeah, if I can just like give it to you.
Sorry.
No,
I
you're
just
right.
I was like, this is one time where your boob would be so good
So
right
yeah,
now.
it'd be good right now. But
Hmm.
I've loved actually doing like different activities with the kids, and when they get really into it, I try to do things because that actually makes me really happy and gives me joy. And the other thing is I've always really enjoyed baking, and
Hmm.
I'm trying to actually make that a priority over other things, because I guess that's what I've been using for meditation, because I find it therapeutic to just like sit there and bake and make something beautiful and delicious. Um, so I would say if you have done something and found a moment that, oh no, I might have lost you. Oh, there you are. And found a moment
Anya.
that made you happy during it, I would hold on to that moment and build on it. So if maybe it's in front of a mirror and breathing, maybe it's cooking dinner, maybe it's any of those, maybe it's taking a walk. But I've tried to, I think that's what you have to do. And I think the other thing to know is that, and this is something that, for anybody that is in a really tough place right now, something my mom would always say, she would always say is the wheel goes round and round.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down. And so right now we are at the down, but that doesn't mean that we are not going to put one foot forward in front of each other, one another, and go back up again.
Yeah.
And yes, she didn't live in any sort of time that was like this. Nobody that's alive now really has lived in a time that we're living in right now. So we're really all learning about this together. We're all in it together, but in completely different ways, because we all have different experiences, and different backgrounds, and all of that. But I think that there's something to be said about holding on to those small moments during the day and letting those take over your entire day, because there are good moments every single day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you know the book, Alexander, what's it called, Alaska? It's Alexander, when the Alexander who had the terrible, no good, very bad day.
Oh,
Do you know
yes.
that?
Yes.
I,
It's
even in
like,
Australia, I think of that book all the time right now. And I'm like, and there is bad days even in Australia.
right.
Um, that's my favorite book right now. I'm literally like, like God bless children's books.
I
Zara,
think we read
how,
so many books every day. Yeah, right, Paige, a very, very bad day.
oh my God. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
How,
Alexander's No Good, Very Bad Day.
very bad day. I know it's the best book. Okay, tell me about Therese. How's it been for you guys? Has it
At
been because,
first it's scary, right?
yeah,
Because we're based in New York. Um, Everybody lives in New York. We had to close down our, no one's in the headquarters anymore. And for me, I feel a responsibility hi, Allie, to everybody who's on the team, and whether they're taking care of themselves, their families, their loved ones. And so what we are trying to do is everything that we possibly can, to keep it stable. When overnight the economy crashes and you run an apparel company, that's a hard thing to do, right?
yeah,
The interesting part is that Terez wasn't created to be apparel. That wasn't the dream. The dream wasn't to make clothes. That wasn't what it was. The dream was to create something that focused on joy and the positive parts of life, and to celebrate the small things. This is literally what I set out to do in 2008 at the last recession. And so our medium, I've gone through a bunch of different mediums, and our medium right now is comfortable, active clothing. And so what we have done as a team, is like, what can we do at a time like this, and what's going on? And it's lean in even more to our original mission and message, which is to find joy.
yeah.
That is, and so that's from the overall side. I think your daughter's sleep has come. Oh.
Хорошо, ложись и закрывай глазки.
Is she ready? Oh, she's.
Oh, she's just like, yeah, it's gonna be one of those nights. It's okay.
I know. That's
Well,
okay.
I mean, do you think more than ever, actually, people have been resonating with the brand too? Like, and also, has it been like actually like more successful because everyone has seemed to be, into athleisure and working out and just wearing like
Yeah. So
happy,
yes.
colorful.
So it's interesting, right? So the business was built, right? Terez was built traditionally with, because my dad was a manufacturer in New York for a long, long time ago. And so most of our business is through specialty stores and department stores and partners, and all of those are closed right now. So that is been, that has been challenging. And we've been working on doing direct to consumer for a really long time. And so what this period has done is allowed us to talk more about who we are and our brand, and allowed people to feel any sort of, privileged comfort, like a comfort in what we say, what we believe in, and our clothes. And so it's been really, it has, some of the joyful parts have been watching and doing, when I've had time, been able to do workouts every day. So like every day at 11. So something I do with the kids or with not is, so Isaac, I don't know. Do you know Isaac from Torched, Calcepedo, Isaac Boots?
You know what? I don't, but I actually was looking at your Instagram all the time. I'm like, I need to get him on my life.
Oh,
He sounds amazing.
he is amazing. He is incredible. And so, and we've been, friends for years. And so he wears Terez leggings, and clearly I do. So I'm there doing it, and everybody, and our prints and our message is so positive and joyful that it's resonating and actually putting a smile on people's faces, which in turn, have brought me joy. And so we're doing that. And so it's been amazing from that aspect, that people are learning about the brand, and they're learning about it in the right way, and in the way that we originally intended, which was to spread joy and focus on joy and spread positivity. And so doing that, it's really been, it's been a light. It's been this almost this light amongst darkness. And so that has been a beautiful thing. We create clothing that we care about. We're very thoughtful about, the reasons why we put out certain prints and styles and tops and collections. And so having everybody stop, or a lot of people stop for a moment, has given, I think, others the opportunity to listen to what we've had to say.
All this years, yeah.
Whereas before we were kind of running a rat race, and you're trying to look at everybody aside, and everybody's going to do the same thing, but we're not trying to do the same thing. We're trying to talk about something very specific, and
You're trying to be authentic and stick to your message, and
we're
that's
just
why I think
ourselves and genuine.
I think it is so true, so hard in normal world, whether you're a company or a human, to listen to other people. It's just so hard.
Yeah.
But you always have to be like, what is my core values? What do I really want to do? What do I believe?
You have to, and that's a practice. You have to constantly remind yourself that, because we're human. That anybody says anything, and that changes in a second. And so I think that that has really, people for the first time, people that have sheltered at home or had been able to be privileged enough to be able to quarantine, are taking the time to consume what's happening around them, and the words, not and like really having the words of their friends, their family, the brands that surround them, the news, everything impact them. And so I think that since everybody has been forced to stop, that has allowed our message to be strong and stronger than ever. And I think
needed more than ever
from
a brand.
And I've thought that this was something that was needed more than ever, because for me personally, the reason Terez was creative was because of traumatic events that have happened in my life, like really low tragic things that I had gone through, that I wanted to create. I needed to create something good, that stood for good, no matter what the medium was, something that was joyful and positive and celebrated the small things in life. And so when this was happening, you know, when we talked about, okay, as a brand, what is it that we're going to do? It was very clear. We're going to continue being who we are. And more than ever, talking about our why and why we exist and what we believe in. And I think it's very powerful, especially right now.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we're doing everything that we possibly can, and not with immense challenges to different partners and people on the team, but trying to do everything that we possibly can so that everyone can be as many people as possible we can support emotionally and financially, because that is not an easy thing to do. And especially when, you know, a good part of our business doesn't exist right now because of the current economy and environment.
Yeah. Does it stress you out?
You know, yes, there are times when I get very stressed out, and there are also times when I'm just like, if this is it, this is it, you know? But what stresses me out the most is two things. One is thinking about the lives of, you know, of the people that support and work for Terez.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's that, you know, and trying to support them financially. That is what scares me and definitely brings me stress.
Yeah.
And the second thing is that I truly, in my heart of heart, believe that Terez is a brand that deserves to be here and be around and is very much needed. And so to think of that, think of the possibility of Terez not being able to be around, that is a stressful thought as well. But you know, this is where we are, right? This is what we're dealing with. There's not another choice. I mean, listen, yes, there is. There's always another choice, right? We could sit back and crumble and just, you know, wait for, you know, see how everything rolls out and stuff like that, right? We can do that. That's one possibility. Or we can be positive and be thoughtful and caring about who we are in the community around us and do what we can as a brand to lift people up around us and focus on joy and spread positivity. That's what we can do. So I guess, yes, there is always a choice. I always choose to go forward. And I guess that's why I always feel like as I'm
That's
walking
why we love you.
and I
That's
always
why
feel
we love
like
you.
at some, you know, and what we're trying to do is, you know, however we can, you know, when we get stuff, we'll add new things and new style, you know, we're trying to do whatever we can and talk to people that as we understand what's going on. So, you know, people need certain things right now, or not, no one, actually that's untrue. Nobody needs anything, but people might want certain things right now. So we want to be there to help in any way that we can, that can bring comfort to someone else.
Yeah. Zara, you're so amazing. Honestly, I really have no idea how you do it.
I don't know.
You've got so much strength, and you know, well, I really appreciate you being so honest because, you know, people don't talk about how hard shit is. you know? And I think right now people have become more vulnerable. And I think for me, all my relationships now in my life are really vulnerable because I don't have time otherwise. I'm like, I
It's
want to
true.
connect with people. I don't want to be like, hey, your life is so wonderful, you know, let me feel bad about mine. It's like, I want to know, like, what shit you're going through so we can connect and really
And
help
be
one
there for
another
one
and
another.
inspire one another. So honestly, thank you so much for being so open, so real. I know there's so many people who are going through the same time, through the same thing, you know, and I think even for me, I'm just kind of like, you know, I think I'm in a really good place. But, you know, I think I'm sure a big part of it is like autopilot. It's like, I'm like, what am I going to fall back on? So I'm like, I just don't let myself having bad thoughts. I like try to have my practice. Like I feel like,
Totally.
you know, when you're like a straight A student and you're just
Yeah.
like doing everything you
Yeah.
can to like be that,
I think
I'm
that's
just
why
really fucking going for it.
I think that's why at times during the day, like at multiple times, I just feel like I'm just gonna like collapse.
Totally. No, and sometimes I literally like sometimes I yesterday I was like someone sent me this video and I was alone and Alaska was I think upstairs doing like Zoom school and all of a sudden I just like I was happy and then all of a sudden I just started crying. And I cried for like 30 minutes during the video. It has nothing really to do with the video. I think it's just like you're like you
You're
just
just
break,
you're
I
just
just broke
like
down for 20 minutes and I'm like, okay, I'm now fine. I released everything is good.
right.
Um,
But you know, I mean, you know, it's fun. I was so happy that it's funny because we had to schedule this because we haven't even spoken. We're out of this. So like I get to see my friend on a live on you know, on Instagram. And it's
You know what? Sometimes it's actually this kind of things are better because people are like, oh, okay, like I want to talk about my stuff. I want to see what people have to say. I want to share my experience because, you know, they feel like they're contributing to the world, and that's the only way that I can get people. And I'm like, that's fine. I was like, that's fine because otherwise it's just really hard to find the priority, right? For your friends, I mean, mostly for yourself.
right.
So there
Oh
you go.
no. Oh, I lost you for
I'm
a
here.
second.
I know.
Sorry.
I'm here. It's all right. It
Oh,
doesn't matter. Listen, you know, now it's like also people are asking me like, what are you grateful for? And I'm like, I'm grateful for my child. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my house. That is beautiful. And I'm grateful that I have food on the table.
totally.
Things have become so simple for me, that, you know, there's none of that like, oh, you know, I'm grateful for this and this. I'm like, no, I'm grateful for, you know, simple things. And right now it's really true. It's like going back to basics,
Yeah,
I believe.
I agree.
And
Yeah, grateful. You know, I think that is something that we need to um, think about every single day. It is. It's just, it just, you know, I know I am in a fortunate position that I'm in a home with my family, safe with food, and I'm not away from my family. You know, I have friends that are on the front line, that haven't seen their children in months who are trying to save lives. You know, I see people, you know, the you know, the delivery people every single day that are going out into the world and then going back home to their families. And so that could be creating vulnerabilities and putting their life and their families at risk, um, for us. And so I am truly forever grateful. You know, that's the same thing for everybody who's an essential worker, or, you know, it's hard. And I'm grateful to be in the position that I'm in, and you know, I feel privileged to be able to do that. Hi, honey, you want to come say
100.
hi? Just come say hi real quick. Come on. It's okay. Billy can be crying.
For a long time.
Yeah, go in and say. Billy's crying.
I'm gonna go in.
Oh,
Alaska's sitting on
yeah.
Anne.
I see.
You see? Oh, you went on live? Oh, he came on. He saw.
Just to make sure.
Just to
Oh,
make sure I was still on
David,
here.
can you believe it? I'm
Yeah.
like,
What?
Go in and go put her
Are you off soon?
I'll be off soon. Go put the pacifier in her mouth and come back.
he was like, hello, your child number 4 needs some attention.
He's like
What
the
are
baby.
you?
He's like the baby's crying.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
go in.
yeah. The
The
baby's
door is
fine.
what are you gonna do tonight? What are you gonna do right after?
I actually, so I've been wanting, so I've done, I want to do some Pilates. I know it's 9:30, but this is like when I wanted to do it. I want to do Pilates or some meditation. So I was going to do it. I was going to do like a 20-minute thing with Melissa Wood.
Melissa, yeah.
Wood, because I really love her practices and I usually do them at nights and I haven't done it in maybe a week and it makes me feel really good. And so like as taking
Do
your
it.
advice to do something for myself, I really wanted to do that.
Do it.
So I wanted to do.
And Zara, and can I tell you, you
Hi,
also
Wendy.
posting that makes other people want to do it too. I look at you and I'm like, God, this girl is running a company, has 3 kids, and she's at 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, freaking working out.
I
I'm
just,
like,
and for me working out, like, yes, like I want, I have judgment on my body, just like all of us have judgment on our body. But there are certain things that just like make me feel good. And one thing, and I love doing Pilates. I started doing it and, I just, I'll do that tonight. And then I'll take my shower and, and get some tea. And at some point I'll probably go through a bunch of things with David. We're trying to figure out somehow to get in a very safe way to try and get some help in childcare back in because both of us haven't been able to
need
work.
to sleep.
And we haven't been able to work. We both work full time. And so we're trying to figure out that type of plan and how to do everything safe.
Yeah.
Hi
Hi, Jen.
Jennifer.
Hi, Jen. What's up?
Hi
What's up?
Jen.
How you doing over there?
I wanted to wear my earrings tonight and then I was like I should have.
I mean, honestly, I'm like,
I should have.
whatever first I see, this is what goes on.
Yeah.
Zara, I love you so much. I
I
want you to
love
go and do
you.
your Pilates. My leg is numb because I'm in reclining position because my child is sleeping on me, and I'm probably not going to be able to stand up. Thank you so much for this
Are you kidding?
conversation. I'm
Thank you. I love
so
you.
grateful. I'm so grateful, well, first of all, to see you.
I
Give a
know.
big kiss to David and all
I
the
will.
kids from us. And just really thank you for being so honest and just really like, I don't know, inspiring everyone. I mean, everyone should follow Zara on her Instagram. First of all, like she makes it seem like she's a super mom all the time and comes up literally with like the best activities for her kids. So, but really, you're honestly the most positive person I know, and you keep me going and you inspire me so much. So thank you for being you.
I love you.
And
Thank you for being my friend and coming into my life.
I
Seriously.
love you. I
I
love you.
love
And I
you.
really miss out TikTok so
I
much.
miss our TikToks too. I posted one today. I was just like, oh my God.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, everyone just needs to be smart, stay safe, be thoughtful, be grateful, and honestly stay positive. And
yeah.
remember, and the last thing is like, remember that, look during the day because there are those small good moments during the day and like write this and hold on to them and those will bring us into the next day. And that's what I do. That's what we need to do. And all of our
Yeah.
moments are going to look different. I
Yeah.
love you.
And I love you more. Oh, I'm gonna get this close to me. There you go. You guys gonna, yeah. All right. Perfect. All right. I love you.
Bye.
Bye,
Good night.
everyone. Thanks
Bye,
for being
everyone.
with
Thank
us.
you.
Stay healthy and safe.
Bye.